Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be trying out a new to me brand called laylarain dips, and I'll be showing how I created this manicure using some of their new products. So let's get right into the video. So the brand laylarain nail dips actually reached out to me on Instagram and offered to send over some products for me to try out. And this is a smaller brand and I totally love to support smaller companies, so I thought I would do a whole video featuring some of their products. So this first package has a buffer, a file, a cuticle stick, and some cuticle oil pens. And this is more of a nail care package, and all of these items can be used to prep and polish the nails off when starting and finished. So here I'm just opening up the buffer block, and here's the file. It is pretty thin, as well as the cuticle sticks and oils. So I was sent 4 different nail scents. The first one is cotton candy, the second one is harvest spice, the third is pumpkin pie, and the fourth is Honolulu sun. Now I'm going to be opening up this little bubble wrap package, and this is actually the 4 liquids. So there is a liquid system that they have created, and I'll be featuring all of them in today's video, so here are what they look like. There is a base, activator, top coat, and brush saver. So now moving into the actual dip powders, here are 3 of their mini containers. So these are, I would say, either 1/2 ounce or 1/4 ounce, I'm not quite sure. And I was sent 3 different colors: Naughty Nude, Lady Lilac, and Pink Waters. Then lastly, I was also sent their whole entire fall collection. So they recently released these fall shades, and here's just a cute little note that was included. But anyway, what I was saying is they recently released all of these different colors, and these are actually sample jars, which I think are super cute. So off camera, I went ahead and swatched all of the colors just to get a feel for the actual pigmentation and the formula, and now I'm going to be going through all of the different shades. So instead of me describing each of the colors, I'm just going to let them play, and you guys can go ahead and pause and write down any colors you love, because all of these are absolutely stunning. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and get started on my manicure. So I'm starting off with my Clean and Prep Natural Nails, and I'm going to go in with a thin layer of my Sparkle & Co. pH Prep Liquid, and this is going to dehydrate the nail surface and prep it for the dip powder application. And then I'm actually going to follow that with a thin layer of my Holo Taco Peely Base Coat, and this is going to allow super easy pop-off removal of my dip powder manicure. So I'm going to apply a nice thin layer of this, and then let it dry completely before moving on. Alright, and the first color I'm going to be using is this gorgeous purple shade called Majestic, and I'm actually going to be pouring the dip powder colors into this dip container, just because since they are such small jars, it is hard for me to actually dip my finger in, so this just makes it a little bit easier. And I will also be using the Step 1 base liquid to do the actual application. So I'm going to apply a nice thin layer of the base to the entire nail, dip into the powder and tap off any excess. And right away I noticed that this base had a thinner formula, and I actually sort of prefer that because I find it is easier for me to get thin, even layers of the dip powder. So I was happy to see that, and I had no issues with it drying too quickly or slowly, so I was actually really happy with how this base performed. Now, one thing I do want to note: these dip liquid bottles do not have a stopper inside, meaning it does tend to get a lot of product on the brush, so I did have to continuously wipe off just to make sure I wasn't flooding the nail, so that is something to keep in mind. But overall, after using all of the liquids, I really enjoyed them, and they are really great quality. So now after the first coat, I'm just going to brush off any of the excess powder on the nail, and go in with a second coat to get full opacity. And this dip powder shade was super opaque. I had no issues with it getting completely opaque in 2 coats, and the application was super even, and the powder was very fluffy and easy to work with. So now, once again, after the second coat, I'm going to brush off any excess, and now I'm going to pour any of the excess powder back into the original dip container. Now this was a little bit tricky since the container is quite small, but using the orange wood stick I was sent, I was able to really easily pour it back in without spilling too much of the actual powder. And since I wanted some sparkle, I'm going to be using the shade Juniper to create some little accent nails on my other nails that are open. And I absolutely love this shade. I think it might be one of my favorites from the entire collection, just because purple is my favorite color and I love how these two shades look together. And I also do want to mention both of the colors that I use today are from the fall collection, and everything that I use in this video will be linked below. And I also do want to note, this brand was super kind enough to give me a 10% off discount code. It is Kate10, it will be listed in the description, so feel free to use that if you want to save some money. So you guys just saw me dip into that glitter shade, and then I just took my finger and patted down any of the pieces that were sticking up just to make it as smooth as possible. And now I'm repeating that process on my pointer nail as well. So I'm going to let you guys watch me finish up the application, and then I will be back for clear encapsulation. Alright, so after the second coat of glitter, I'm going to wipe off any excess off of the nail, and then I poured the excess powder back into the container and sealed it up for next time. Alright, and now using my DP90 Crystal Clear powder from Sparkle & Co., I'm going to clear encapsulate all of the nails. Now, this is especially important with this glitter shade because when filing and buffing, you don't want to take off all of that beautiful shine and glitter. So this layer will just add a protective cover over that pigment so you don't take any of it off. So I'm going to do a nice thin layer of base, dip into the powder and tap off any excess. And the clear encapsulation isn't super necessary for the cream shade, however I still would recommend it just to add some extra thickness and still protect the color underneath. So I'm going to let you guys watch and I will be right back. So once again, I'm just going to brush off any excess powder, and now since all of the powder layers are complete, I'm going to go ahead and activate using the Step 2 activator. So I'm going to apply 2 generous layers of this to all of my nails, and this is going to harden up the powder and make it ready for filing. And I had absolutely no issues with this activator working, so I was really pleased to see that. And then I went ahead and filed and buffed off camera just to save some time, and I'm going to brush off any of the excess dust before top coat application. Now since I am using a dip powder top coat, I'm going to go in with one more layer of activator, and this is going to make sure that the dip powder top coat adheres and dries properly. So after that coat is applied, I let it sit for a few minutes, and now I'm taking a dry, lint-free wipe to remove any excess, and this is going to prevent the top coat brush from hardening up. Now with Step 3 glass top coat, I'm going to go ahead and apply 2 coats to get a nice and glossy look. Now, I was actually talking to Michelle at laylarain Tips, and she actually said that they do have a glossier top coat coming out, and you will notice this top coat is shiny, however I do feel it could have been shinier. So I will be doing an updated review of their top coat as well as some of their other powders, so stay tuned for that, and I will share my honest review of that product as well. So even though I was happy with this top coat, I definitely prefer a gel top coat just because I think it's a little bit more shiny and will last longer. And now I'm going to dive into the cuticle oil pens. So I'm going to use the Scent Harvest Spice, and I'm just going to twist the end to get the oil flowing. And honestly, you guys already know that Candy Skincare has some of my favorite cuticle oils. They work absolutely amazing. But after trying this one, I can definitely recommend these, and I absolutely loved how they smelled. So here is the finished manicure I was able to create using the laylarain Dips products. I absolutely love how these nails turned out. They're so stunning for fall, and I totally recommend you guys check this small brand out. So overall, I had a really positive experience, and I can't say enough good things about these products. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a like and subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next one.